Welcome to Excel tutorial. Today, I'll teach you how I have created my to-do list in Excel. So with the help of this to-do list tracker, you will be able to completely track all your whatever list you want to create and then task whatever you want to create, you'll be able to completely track that one. And it also comes with a complete dashboard. So where you will be able to see how many tasks are pending, in progress tasks, and all this you'll be able to completely track with the help of this to-do list tracker. So first I'll show you how the to-do list tracker is going to look like. So here is how my to-do list tracker will look like. So below you can see we have the important table. So that is what are the tasks, it is listed. And then I have the tag, like it's going to be personal duties or work duties. And then what is going to be the start date. And we have the deadline. And then how many days are left from today. For example, here we'll have like whether the task has already completed. So if it is completed, we'll have minus. So if it is going to be still, we have some days to complete. So we have how many days is left from today. And here we have the priority. So whether it's going to be high priority task or low priority task. And then we'll have what is the status. So whether it's going to be in progress or whether we have completed it or it's failed to do or we have not started still. So we can have the status of the particular task over here. So then which person is going to be in charge. So whether it's I am going to be in charge or if any other person is going to be in charge for this particular task, we can just assign that over here. And then we can have some comments regarding the task over here. And then here we'll have whether it's overdue or it's today it is going to be due or it's not due. So we'll have the overdue status over here. So the top, I'm having some important graph for the overdue, how many tasks we have by priority and what is going to be the date, overdue, and how many tasks are going to be due today. So all these things we'll be able to track with the help of these graphs. So I'll teach you from scratch how you can create this complete to-do list tracker. Let's get started. I have opened a new Excel sheet and then here I'll name the sheet as to-do list. So at the top, I'll just try to completely select this here and then I'll try to merge center and then here I'll say to-do list and I'll go and do the formatting over here. So maybe I'll increase size and then I'll fill this with this color and also I'll make it bold and let's make it center line. So this is going to be the complete title for my dashboard. So first I'll give some space at the top for the dashboard, like the graphs and other things. So let me come down here. Let me try to create the table. So here I'll just combine these two together. So I'll say merge center and here let me say I'm going to have my task. So next I'll have what is going to be the tag. So here the tag is nothing but it's going to be like whether it's personal duties or if it's going to be work task, so that we can have it. Then I'll have the start date. Then I'll have the deadline date. So next I'll have the date left from today. So next I'll have the priority. Then I'll have the status. Next is going to be the person in charge. And then I'll have the comments. And last is going to be the overdue status. So this is going to be all my tasks. So I'll just try to completely select all these together. And I'll say merge and center. So now I'll try to come and adjust all these columns. So here, these are going to be the column names. So I'll try to highlight this first. So I'll increase the size, make this bold and I'll highlight it. So now I'll just try to come and adjust these columns. So here is going to be the tag. So then we'll have the start date. And then it's going to be my deadline date. And next we'll have how many days is left from today. And then I'm going to have the priority. So then what is going to be status? So the person in charge. And then I'll have the comments. And at last, I'm going to have the overdue status. So this is going to be the complete task table over here. So let me first try to come and enter some task for here. Let's say the first task is like send an email to manager. So this is going to be one of the first tasks, let's say. Then let's say second task is going to be buy medicines. So this is going to be a second task. So third task we can have like edit the videos. So this is going to be the third task. And then let's say hit the gym. So this is going to be another task. So like this, I can have some multiple tasks below the task over here. So next is I'm going to have the tag. So the tag is nothing but we can have some like different tags for the different tasks. Like it can be personal work, whatever we're going to do, or it can be work related, or it can be related to exercise, entertainment. Like this, we can have different tags. So here I'll just try to create a drop down. So to create the drop down, I'll just come a little bit after this table. So here I'm going to list down all my drop downs over here. So first, for example, here for the tags. So what I'm going to have is, so first I'll say personal task. Then next is going to be work related task. So I can say work related task. And then next I can say it's going to be gym or exercise. That can be one of the tags. And then next it can be entertainment. So like let's say I want to go for a movie. So that can be some of the entertainments. So here is going to be the complete tags. So now what I'll do is I'll come to the stack and then I'll go to data. So here we have the data validation. So I'll click the data validation over here and then here I'll say allow a list over here and then here I need a source from the data. So from a complete sheet wherever we have the source of this particular list, I need to try to take that one. So I'll completely select this. So these four are going to be my tags. So now I'll click OK. And then when I come over here, and then you can see I have the complete this as a drop down. So here I can say that send an email to my manager is going to be a work related task. So what I'll do is I'll just try to completely flash fill this. So this we can try to have the drop down for all these things. So for example, buy medicines can be a personal task, edit the videos can be a work related task, and then hit the gym, it can be like a gym. So like exercise going to be that is going to be the tag over here. So next I'll say what is going to be the start date for each and every task. So let's say the start date is going to be 9th August 2025. And then let's say for this sending an email, it is like the same day we can do it, right? So I'll say 9th August 2025. That's going to be the deadline. So buy medicines, I'll say 19th August 2025. And let's say it can be like till 20th I can buy any day. So maybe I'll say 20th August 2025. Then for editing the videos, I'll say the start date is going to be from 15th August 2025 to 30th August 2025. So this is going to be the deadline for that. And then like hit the gym. So it's like let's do it for 19th. So every day it's going to be like a task. So I'll just say it's going to be for same day 19th August 2020. So this is going to be the start date for all the tasks. And then here is going to be deadline date for all these particular tasks. So now what I need to do is I need to check how many date is left from today. So for example, let's say the date is going to be like today's date is 18th of August. Let's say the deadline for this particular task is 19th. That means how many days I left from today. Like one day is left, right? So we need to try to calculate that over here. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say is equal to, and then here I'll have the formula. So if I'll open the bracket, so if the cell is going to be empty, so there is no value inside the cell, I'll have no value. Or else what I'll do is I'm going to do a calculation. That means it's going to be the date, that is the deadline date, subtracted by the today. So today formula, we have a formula called as today. So what it'll do is it'll try to fetch me today's date and then it'll give me. So that is what is going to be the formula. So now I'll try to press enter and I'll close the brackets and then I'll press enter. So you can see I'm getting the answer as 1 over here. So now I'll just try to flash fill this complete formula. So here you can see 2 days. So 20th is like today is 18th. So we have 2 days. For 30th August, we have like 12 days. And 19th is again 1 day. So we can automatically get how many days is left from today using this simple formula. So next, let's come to the priority. So the priority of the task can be like, it can be high priority task, it can be low priority, or it can be like a moderate or normal priority task. So here also I'll have a drop down. So for this also what I'll do is I'll come over here and then I'll say priority. And then first I'll have the low priority. Next is going to be normal. And the third is going to be high priority. So I'll have the list over here. So now I'll come to the priority. So I'll go to data and then I'll have data validation. So here I'll choose the list and then I'll source this from this particular over here. So whatever we have selected. So and then I'll give OK. So this is going to be the priority over here. So now I can just try to flash fill this completely. So now what I'll do is, for example, let's say sending an email to my manager, I'll consider this as high priority. So next is buying medicines, I'll consider this as normal priority. So editing the videos, let's consider this as normal priority. And then the next, hit the gym, let's consider this as low priority. So like this, we can have a drop down and then select the priority for each and every task. So next is going to be our status. So for status also, I'm going to create a drop down. So first I'll come and create the list. So here I'll say status. And then let's say the first status is going to be not started. And the second status can be in progress. And the third, I'll have it as failed to do. And the fourth one, I'll say done successfully. So these are the 4 status tags we have. So here again, I'll come and select the status. I'll select the data validation over here and then I'll select the list. Now I'll try to come and source the list over here. So this is the complete list and then I'll select and give OK. So now I can try to flash fill this formulas completely. So here, let's say for the first, let's say I'll say not started. And the second one, buy medicines also, I'll say not started. And the videos, let me say it's going to be in progress. And then hit the gym, I'll say it is not started. So these are going to be the status for each and every task over here. So then we can have the person in charge. So who's going to be the person in charge to complete this particular task? Let's say if it is going to be me, I can just give me. Or else if any of your work colleagues, you can just enter them. Or if any of your your father or mother, if they are going to be the task owner over here or they are going to be the person in charge, you can just try to enter them over here. So for example, let's say for buying medicines, I'm going to say father over here. So other task, I'm going to assign for me. So here, most of the tasks, we can just assign it for me. And then we can have the comments. So comments are nothing but in this column, we can try to enter if any particular comment you want to add about that particular task, you can just try to enter it over here. For example, send an email to my manager. I just need to send an email. So email about, let's say, asking for leave on someday, so on. So let's say on 22nd. So this is going to be the email subject. So why we can have the comments over here is so that we'll not forget what it is about, right? So we can just try to have some comments regarding whatever task you want to just explain about that. You can just have the comments over here. So at last is we have the overdue status. So we will be checking whether our particular task is overdue or it is due today or it is not due. Okay, so this is going to be the status over here. So here we'll be using a formula. So from this one, we'll try to actually write the formula. That is, from days left, we can say that how many days are left actually, right? So we know that. So if the days is going to be 0, it is due today, right? So if we are going to have more days, then it is not due. Or else if the date is already over, it is going to be overdue, right? So that's the thing. So let's say how we can do it is that I'll say it's going to be is equal to. So I'm going to use the ifs condition. So since we are going to have 3 conditions over here. So the first condition is if my date, that is this cell, if it is going to be greater than 0. So what we'll say is if it is going to be true, that means not due. Okay. So it is not due. So this is going to be the answer because we have more days left to complete this particular task. Next is if this particular cell is going to be equal to 0. Okay. So then what if this condition is going to be true, then it means it's going to be due today, right? So that is going to be the criteria. Next, the third condition what we can give over here is that, so if the cell is going to be less than 0, that means we have actually crossed the deadline. Okay, so that's why if it is less than 0, so I'll consider this as overdue. So I'll say overdue, I'll close the brackets and I'll press enter. So here you can see it is not due. So I'm getting it as not due. So I'll just try to completely drag this. So everywhere we are getting not due. So because all these are, like, we can say that it is all for every task we have more days to complete, right? So that's why. So in case if I try to go and change this to 18th August 2025, and the deadline is also going to be 18th August 2025. So if I try to go and change this, see, automatically it has changed the days left to 0, and then it is showing me as due today. Because I want to complete this task today, right? So today is 18th August, so it is automatically saying me to complete. It is due today, it is just saying me. So like this, you will be able to easily have the overdue status over here. So this is about the complete table. So for to track all our tasks. So now I'll come to the top and then I'll go for the dashboard. So first, let me try to completely select this, and then I'll say merge center, and then here we'll have some values. So here I'll merge center. So first, let me have what is going to be the today's date. So that I'll have over here. And then next, let me try to merge and center. So here I'll have the overdue. How many tasks are overdue over here? So that number I'll have it below. So next I'll just try to completely merge center. So here I'll have the due today. So how many tasks are due today? So that one I'll just try to have it over here. So now I'll just completely select these, and then I'll increase size, make this bold, and also I will draw the outer borders over here for this, and then I'll center align this. So for these cells, I'll just try to fill in the colors. So for today, date is nothing but it's going to be equal to, so today I'll say, so this is going to be the formula. So automatically I'll get today's date, and then how many tasks are overdue. So if I want to have how many tasks are overdue, I'm going to say is equal to, so here I'll be using the COUNTIF formula, and then first what I need to do is I need to select the range for the COUNTIF. So I'll completely select this range, then I'll give comma, and what is going to be the criteria we need to say. So the criteria is nothing but it's going to be overdue. So that's going to be the criteria. So I'll just close this and then I'll press enter. So here you can see I'm getting 0 overdue. So since there are no overdue tasks over here. Now let me try to do for due today. So here also I'll be using the COUNTIF formula. So I'll open the brackets. So I'll completely go and select the range over here. So then I'll give comma. So the criteria here, it's going to be inside the quotation. So I'll say due today. So this is going to be the criteria, and then I'll press enter. So here you can see one task is due today. So that is the first task. It's actually due today, right? So that's why I'm getting one task is due today. I'll get it over here. So this is about the complete key pointers for a particular to-do list. Now let's try to have the graphs for how about the high priority, how many priority wise, how many tasks we have, and status wise, how many tasks are there, and then overdue status for the complete task list. We can just try to show that in the graph. So to do that one, what I'll do is here I have created the list, right? So just next to that, so what I'll do is I'll just try to use this as a small table to create the graph. So here for tags, let's say we have different tags. Like for example, now I just need to find out how many is going to be the personal tasks. So here I'll say is equal to, so COUNTIF, I'll open the bracket. So first I'll go and select the complete range over here. So, and then I'll give comma, and then it's going to be personal task. So this is going to be the formula. So you can see personal task, and I press enter. So you can see that there are totally one personal task over here, right? So similarly, I'll just try to do for work task. So is equal to COUNTIF. I'll open the bracket. So first I'll go and select the range, and then I'll give comma. So the criteria is going to be work task, and then we'll have gym. So is equal to COUNTIF, and then we will go and select the range, comma, it's going to be gym. So like this, we can also do it for the last entertainment. So I'd say COUNTIF, comma, entertainment. So this is going to be the number of completely for the task. So if I try to do a graph for this one, so I can just completely select this and then I'll go to insert and then let's have a column chart for this. So you can see I've created a column chart over here. So I'll just try to have this over here. So with the help of this chart, you can see how many tasks are there for. Like the personal task, we have one task, for work task is two, gym is one, and for entertainment, we don't have any task. And I'll also go and name the chart title as task tags. So we can have how many tags we have for each and every task. We can just easily able to see it. We can even say as task tag category. So you can just name it like this. And then I'll go and change the fill color to our theme colors. So this color, I'll just have it. So this is going to be the task tag category. So now next we can try to have a graph of priority wise. So here, how many priority is going to be low priority? So here also I'll be using the same COUNTIF formula. I'll open the brackets. So here I'll come and completely select the whole range of priority. And then I'm going to say if it is going to be low, I'll say low. So the first is going to be low. So you can see I'm getting one low. And then again I'll say is equal to. So COUNTIF. And then I'll open the brackets. So I'll select the range. So comma, it's going to be normal. So next is going to be high priority. So is equal to COUNTIF. I'll open the bracket, select the range. And then I'll say comma high. So now we have got how many low priority and high priority tasks. So similarly for this also, we can completely select this. And then I'll try to go and then I'll just create maybe a 2D chart like this. Row wise chart, we can just have it a bar kind of chart. So I'll completely have this over here and then I'll say priority. So priority wise task, I can just say it over here and then I'll fill this with this color. So here you can see high priority task, we have one, low priority one, and then normal task, two tasks are there. So then I'll come for the status. So here we have not started, in progress, all this thing we have, right? So is equal to. So similarly here also I'll say COUNTIF. I'll open the brackets. I'll try to go and completely select the status range over here. And then for first I'll say it is going to be not started. So that's going to be the criteria. So next I'll say COUNTIF. I'll open the brackets. So I'll go select the range. And the next one is going to be in progress. And then we'll have failed to do and done successfully. So for this also, I'll just try to write the formula. So I'll completely select this and the criteria is going to be failed to do. And last is going to be done successfully. So is equal to, so COUNTIF, select the range, and then I'm going to say done successfully. So we have like 0 done successfully, 0 failed through. We have 3 like not started and 1 in progress. So I'll completely select this. I'll go insert a pie chart over here. So here you'll be able to see it. How many is in progress, all these things we can easily able to track with the help of this chart. So that is the task status. So this is going to be the title. And then here I can also go and change the colors according to our theme colors. So for this one, different color. So like this, we can just try to change the colors according to our theme colors. So here is how we'll try to create a complete to-do list tracker. So first we have created an entire table to track all our tasks. And then we have add like what is going to be the tag. So start date, what is going to be the deadline, and how much priority is going to be given for the particular task. Then the status for the task and some comments we can give. And then we have also found out the overdue status. Next, we have created some important graph to track all my tasks over here. So if you wish to download the complete to-do list tracker, I have given the link in the description. you can just try to go and download it from there. Also, I have created multiple templates for your productivity and lifestyle, like your to-do list tracker. I've created some other templates like your habit tracker, travel planner, and wedding planner, and many more. So if you wish to use these templates, you can just visit my website plrduck.com and then try to download it from there. So the great thing about this is all these templates are available for both Google Sheet and Excel. It also comes with master resale rights and commercial rights. You can try to edit these templates according to your wish and then share it with as many people you like. I hope you would have liked this video. Please do like and subscribe my channel for more such content. Thanks for watching this tutorial. I'll see you in another Excel or Google Sheet tutorial.